Freddie, and what we gonna do with RC, man? He already been on spot this Super Bowl, and now this man got a damn Emmy.
There's nothing we can do, man. Try to match his energy, bruh.
But he gonna talk nasty to us now.
Yeah, we know that. We know that. What he say? Cut the room in half?
Yeah.
The good thing is he can't cut the room in half. Maybe he can sit on the edge and then cut a third off. But you know, we gotta celebrate him.
Yeah, man. The man is super talented though.
Yeah.
So, but we gotta keep him level-headed because he already knows it. That's the person you hate that's good and know they good. And
Right.
now he got the hardware to show it. But man, proud of him, bro.
1,000%. The good thing about RC is that, you know, I don't think he would get his head won't get big. I think it'll be more of he'll try to get us on his page, get us to where he is. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's done that since we all got together.
Yeah.
You know, I think he has made each of us better. You know, a little bit more on his journalistic side. Journalistic, is that a word?
He looks at media from all angles, and that's the crazy part. That's why he's where he is, because he knows the analyst side, but he looks at the back of it. He likes the cameras, he likes the editing. He just knows it. And that's why I know how he's gonna approach it. You say how he's gonna approach it? One's already in the books.
Right.
Now he's going for number 2.
It's a real life pivot. Because people got a chance to see the
Oh. Sorry, sir.
My God!
Sorry, sir. Hey, you don't just walk on. You don't need to walk on regular floor.
Okay, is that what it is?
Yeah, you don't need to walk. You don't need to walk on
shot the wrong way.
You don't need to walk on regular floor.
Hey,
Mr. Clark.
What's up, dog? Freddie T, how you shot it the wrong way?
I ain't get no directions, man.
Oh man.
Whoever would have thought it came out of the.
We got the confetti. I think it comes out the bottom, Freddie T. The big side. Oh!
Here we go.
Hey!
Damn, Chan, we gotta clean up. We gotta keep cleaning up.
We got confetti. Oh! Chan, your pool is sucking the side of your pool. Your vacuum is sucking the side of your pool.
Your pool is queefing.
Oh my gosh.
Hold up, limitless, take a stomach cap, pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, got me up. On the mission, got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. Only vision I can trust. Limitless, take a stomach cap, pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, got me up. On the mission, got me up. Knowing me, I got the key.
You can keep this,
Man, thank you very much, man.
That's for you, brother.
I appreciate y'all boys, man.
That's for you, man. Job well done, man.
Thank you, man.
You changed? What's up? You a different person now?
Nah, man. No. I just came back from all inclusive.
Oh, hey, yeah. That would Emmy get you.
Hey, that's I know. Shit,
That's crazy though, bruh.
I can't say that had I not won it, it would have mattered. I don't think that part matters. Being rewarded the Emmy though matters in the sense of like the work being recognized. I think that's for sure the blessing in it. But the rest of it is the rest. I don't believe it validates or invalidates anybody who was up for the award.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think had my name not been called, you guys would have thought any less of my work or my efforts. I also don't think in having my name called, you think more of it. Like the feeling that it gave you when I did it is still the same, but it is the acknowledgement that the way other people will perceive it now and the way that they'll categorize the work. But I do want to say this because we, as the pivot, we didn't get to be up for any Emmys. For whatever the reasons are, we don't have the qualifications. But when I'm sitting there and I'm watching the nominees, we definitely did work that should get us those sort of accolades, to get us those sort of achievements, those sort of opportunities. And I do want to say this because I didn't get to tell y'all, I know that I got an award working at ESPN, but that's part of what we do too. People got to see me differently because y'all made that call. People got to see me differently because y'all gave me this opportunity. And outside of that, there have been no 3 people, Alicia included, who have supported me more than y'all. And honestly, the way that y'all talk about me publicly, but more so even privately, in acknowledging my work and saying that I'm capable, Like, those things matter. Alicia to helping with my video with ESPN, my bio, you know what I mean? Like, she was more or as much of a part of it as anybody at ESPN. So to y'all three, bro, I can't thank y'all enough. I am extremely grateful.
So before you keep going, and we know you're good at it, we're gonna pivot real quick, right? We wanna give you your flowers. So you can stop giving us flowers. This is about you, giving you your flowers. And this is a moment of celebration. And earlier when I was at church, and it's crazy that we said we would meet and do a 3-man show, you know, we always stated that we wanted the pivot to be, you know, known as an amazing podcast, but also known or remind the people that the three of us, we can drive our show. You know, we love our guests. Obviously, the people that follow us, they love our guests. But when we set out to do this thing, it was us. In a moment of, you know, celebration, we're celebrating you, celebrating the Emmy win. We're gonna always celebrate our show. At church earlier, they talked about, in celebration, you have to reflect on the past. You have to define those moments that led to celebration, right? And aside from that, RC, man, you know, I just wanted to personally tell you that, you know, I admire you as a father, you know, as a friend, from undrafted 13-year NFL career to a Pro Bowler. You know, you got on ESPN, just kind of, you know, I overheard you on the call in there a moment ago saying you weren't even supposed to really be there, but you took advantage of your moment. One of the hardest working people we know, you know, from your disciplines, you know, when you said, all right, I'm gonna stop drinking, I'm gonna, you know, take care of my health, I'm gonna do things differently. Just being able to look at that and how you model yourself, I think that we've all taken something from your book. So I wanna take a second, from me, Chan, to you, from Alicia, and give you your flowers.
Man, thank
Not
you.
just for the Emmy, but honestly for the person that you are, man. I'm glad that we selected you, or not.
Yeah, y'all picked me.
I'm glad that.
Y'all picked me.
He finally got drafted.
He got drafted. But I'm glad that you were, you know, willing to come on and say, yeah. You know, with that, bro, big salute. Thank you. Like Marvin Sapp, we never would have made it without you. So, man, big up, bro.
Appreciate
Real
it.
shit.
Appreciate it.
To Fred's point too, man, it's what they say, what's done outside of the lights. And that's what people don't see about you. And that's what you talk about us talking about you, like when people ask me, because everybody always, for some reason we laugh about it, when people see us and be like, where's Ryan, where's Fred?
Like, we always together.
You think we live together? We do the show, but when they do, and you know, you really get a chance to sit down and talk to people, and people, you can tell when somebody genuinely wants to know about y'all, or they just fans. And when they do, one of the first things I say about you every time, I was like, you don't understand how hard this man works. Like when he's on, like when he knows about the fights, when he knows about the game, when he knows about the 13th play of a football game, when he's breaking out, like he's went back and done research on this. This is not easy what he does. When you're riding to do a pivot show, but you're doing research for your ESPN stuff, or you're, you know, saying when vice versa, when you're always working and always just getting educated and getting more information. And that's what I try to take, and Fred said that, I try to take from you.
Right.
So the notes thing, you always take notes. You always got your little damn Kindle or whatever out. And if you notice, I always had a notepad too, and I started dying down. My notepad would come maybe every other show. And then watching you take notes and watching you always want to just have information, as you see, I picked my notepad back up. I got my notepad going more. So to Fred's point, man, it's cool to see that you can thrive at something at such a high level in the league, Super Bowl winner, Pro Bowler, and take that same effort to everything else you do in life, bro. And like knowing your children, knowing your family, knowing what you got going, like it's inspiring as hell to see the drive that you have. And actually, I know where it comes from. We talk enough. I met your family. I met your people. I know where that drive comes from. But to see it put into action like you do, because there's people that work hard and there's people that work smart. I think you do both. And that's something that a lot of people can't say, bro.
Hey,
but
man.
Real talk, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah.
I got you another one.
Round two.
Round two,
Round
dog.
two.
Hey, I'm gonna keep this one on display. I wanna take the other one and put it on the front of my Toyota Tundra and have a Timmy. Just put it over.
We got a question for you,
Open the
RC.
truck.
We got a question for you. before the show, before you sat down, and I know you didn't know any of this was
This
going
is pretty
on.
cool though.
Right? And that's the pivot. How are you gonna cut the room now? Before you say you cut the room in half, how are you gonna cut the room now?
Anymore?
Nah, man, y'all allowed in the room. You know, the best thing about this show is those levels and those sorts of banter between us are just us. You know what I mean? Like, that's the fun part. But I did get the feeling of being so grateful for this year, for sure. Because like this year was a year that everything kind of fell into place for me, and that included us, but also, bro, like just the whole ride. You know, like I got to think back to the beginning of it. Like LSU put out a post and it had my picture from when I played safety there. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember that little dude, and I thought that guy could really speak, and I thought he was great in interviews. And I went back and I've heard some of those interviews, and I was terrible. You know, but even at that time, like I just thought I was so cold because I was comparing myself to everybody. Like that's the good thing, man. Ain't no comparisons here. I will say this, you know, you mentioned working, and I want to get off this because it's kind of weird being complimented so much. And I've said this out loud before. I do not have a passion for media. I don't. Like I don't have a passion for TV. I don't want to be a TV star. I don't want to be famous, any of those things. And I think early on in my career, it hurt me because I was competing against people who did want that. I was competing against people who that was their goal, right? They wanted to be famous, and they wanted to be stars, and they wanted to win these awards. Like I never looked at it that way. Like I just wanted to work, like, and I just wanted to grind. And too, like I was the dude that had the first contract as an active player. Like I was actually special in that realm. I'd never been special in my life.
Yeah.
Like truly, you know, like you mentioned being undrafted, like that was the way. I always had something to be pissed off about when I played football. Like I always had something to work for. And in TV, I didn't really have that. You know what I'm saying? Like I was kind of expected to at least be good or be okay at it because I had put in some work before everybody else. And I remember, man, it's probably two occasions in my career that have really helped me. Stephen A. a few years ago was asked who the next stars were. Who would be the next Stephen A's? And he said Marcus Spears and Chris Canty. Both dudes I love. Right? Like Swag, like I want Swagoo to win every award he wants to. I want Swagoo to be famous because I actually love him. Like that's my friend. Right? Chris Canty, I think he's great on TV. And when he said it, I didn't have an issue with it. My thought was, it should have been 3 names. Right? But it wasn't Stephen A's fault. It wasn't Marcus's fault. It wasn't Chris's fault. It was my fault. Because clearly I'm not doing something. There's something that I'm missing out on that's not making me noticeable. Right? And I said it that day, and no disrespect to the big bro, I love Stephen A. I said I'm gonna be better than Marcus, I'm gonna be better than Chris, and I'm gonna outwork Stephen A too. Right? Because like I need those things. You know what I'm saying? They picked NFL Live. And you know, man, I talk about Laura, Mina, Marcus, Dan constantly. I think they are phenomenal. Being on TV with them makes me work harder. Because I don't want to be the dude who don't know his stuff. I don't want to be the dude that's not contributing. But it mattered to me that they didn't pick me for that show, right? It mattered to me that the only reason I got on NFL Live was because Dan had to go to colleges on Fridays and prepare for the Saturday show. That meant something to me. Oh, again, you got to make your pick and I ain't the one? Cool. It took me back to 02 and being undrafted. First take. Remember like when they switched up, when Max was gone? They got the pick days. And people had a day. Like, so-and-so had Monday, so-and-so had Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You know what I had? I had the back half of Tebow Day.
Yeah.
Right? I remember one time they asked me, hey, can you come on in the first hour? Because that was Tebow hour, and I was on the back half. And I was like, hell no. That's Tebow hour. I'm not doing it. You know, but like those things, man, and like I don't want to be like how in guys, I'm not comparing myself to Jordan. I don't want to be that guy. Right? I want to be the guy that's like, and that's why I was just so thankful and so grateful for everybody. And I wanted to just say thank you to everyone. That's why I wanted to come over here. And I was talking so long in the beginning because I wanted to thank y'all, because without y'all, and I said it there, I know it's because part of it is because of what we are doing. But like all those small moments, bro, like along the way was like, yeah, I got y'all. Like I see it. I feel you. Like you ain't got to tell me twice.
Like you said, I don't want to compare myself to Jordan, but there's people that get angry and get, you know, and get slighted. and they take that as motivation to do something and really put work in. And that's the thing, when I'm hearing you talk, it's like, hey, I didn't like that, but I'm gonna do something about it. I didn't like that, but I'm gonna do something about it. Where some people just get mad and sit in anger and sit in upset and sit in, the world is I didn't get a break. Where you take those and actually do something about it to improve your chances of getting the next opportunity. And that's what I think, honestly, you bring up Jordan and Kobe, that's what I think greatness is created, of taking anything that is not the way you want it and making it what you want it to be.
But also going further, Chan, in his speech, he spoke about, when the nomination came about, not even being really caring about being nominated, but because he was nominated, he wanted to win it. And that's the attitude and mindset I think you have to carry. But before we get off this real quick, I do want to ask you 3 things. I had 3 questions to ask you. Did you ever envision yourself winning an Emmy through sports journalism? And describe that moment when your name was called.
So no, I never envisioned it. I think I try to minimize opportunities for disappointment. I try to focus on what I can control. Right? And so to backtrack a little bit to your point, Chan, I didn't put the work in so I felt that I got the next opportunity. I put the work in so it didn't matter if I got the next opportunity. Like, I put the work in so I don't have to care about the subjective opinion that made you not choose me. I know I was prepared. I know I grinded. I know I was ready to work. I did my absolute best. I was proud of the work. You made a different choice. I studied all week. I did all my treatment. I drank all my water. I ate the right way. Randy Moss called a bomb on me. I'm okay to go home and live in that. That was why I did the work. And as far as envisioning it, Freddie T, it was like, like people from ESPN in my job don't win a lot.
Right.
And even when I was nominated, bro, Charles, Shaq, Kenny, Nate, Verducci, like all of these dudes are dudes.
Yeah.
And Jay Billis. Like all of these were dudes. Actually, the guy that was going to accept Jay's award was sitting next to me. And he was like, if Jay wins it, don't trip me. And I was like, I'm not gonna trip you. And so even after being nominated, it was almost, to me, like the sense of recognition. When I found out, I called my mom to tell her, and she was really excited. And I just called her to thank her for me walking in the kitchen and hearing her talking to Miss Ivasevich on the phone, saying, well, we could pay $130 this week, and we could pay $124 this week, and we could pay this, and I could go take my check to the cash place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew, like, my parents struggled to pay that $400 a month to send me to Catholic school because they wanted me to get a better education. And so, like, it was more that moment for me. And when they called my name, it was cool because when I got on stage, Mike Tirico shook my hand and told me I deserved it.
Wow.
And like the other thing that was really good, and I would guess that when people win an award or receive an award like that, you don't reach out to them and tell them they shouldn't have won it. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't be like, hey man, you know what? I ain't gonna lie, dog. I'm glad you won that, but shit, you shouldn't have.
What up, you lucky son of a bitch?
Right, you know what I'm saying? And we could move on, but the people that reached out to me weren't all people I talked to a lot, or who I work with a lot. And everybody said I deserved it. And all the people said that it was good to see someone win it who they thought went about it the right way.
And the last question, RC, really, I don't know if you've seen a few of my posts the last couple of days, but sending you your congratulations and giving you your flowers, I posted about our team.
Yep.
Channing talked about half of the team has Emmys. 50% of us got Emmys, and it ain't us. But Alicia's behind the cameras, and a lot of people don't know that she has, I think, a dozen plus one.
Well, she has 13. She only
13.
claims 11.
Okay, so she has 13, which means you have a whole dozen left to catch her. So my question is this: can it be done?
Ain't no catching her.
That's my question.
That's like asking the Tom Brady question, right? Can anybody get 7? I think though, for sure, her expertise and understanding the awards that really helped me. You know, people at ESPN, Lydell, who's my producer on ESPN, was able to reach out to her, was able to make sure, you know, my bio was clean, was able to make sure the video matched what was said in the bio. And I think all those things matter. Or having somebody like her continue to say your names in the right circle with the right people. And we've been very honest on this show that, because people always, they want to know the secret sauce, right? I get it all the time, like, how can we make our podcast good? Hell, we don't know, we just talk. Like, legitimately, we just talk. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we do. And then, like, there are people who will claim to be, like, these geniuses of, I changed this, I changed that, I changed this. You a mother effing lie. Like, you didn't come up with that. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that what she's been able to do in, you know, for her, it's almost 2 careers, her first career in NFL Films, All Access, and now moving over to podcasting has truly just helped us elevate and become who we are as a show. And I will say this, man, being in that room, what it did, Chan and Fred, it just made me want to like work more. It's made me want to create more. It's made me want to be better. Bryant Gumbel got the Lifetime Achievement Award, man. And they were just showing, he had a reel, like his reel is from age 25 to 74. So you know how long that is. Like he had a fro at one point, like a baby shag at another point, you know what I'm saying? And bro, the dude didn't stumble over a word in any reel. You know, he got a lame nickname, No Stumble Gumble, but you know, like that's, and like I just think, you know, those are the things I aspire to do. But it truly is, man, about our show. When you think about where we've come from, what we've done, and even if you go back and watch our earlier shows that people enjoyed, that we got a ton of acclaim for, we weren't even that good. Like individually, I wasn't as good as I am now. You weren't. Like it's been so much growth, but even that at that point was like what people were aspiring to be. And so my challenge for myself, for you two, for Leash, Mike, Ariel, Ave, everybody that shoots, everybody that works with us, is like, okay, like what's the next step? You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, we're the Golden State Warriors to me, right? Like if you make a show now, if you're an athlete who does a podcast, this is what you want to be, right? We're the Kansas City Chiefs. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Like when you drafted in the AFC, what you say, I need a quarterback and I need somebody that could rush the passer. Why? Because you got to go get 15. Yeah. Like that's what we got to do, man. Like we got to keep working. Think about what we did 2 or 3 weeks ago. We hop out the car in LA. I think me and Chan got in late. At Gilly and Wallow run up. First off, too, man, shout out $1 million worth of game. Yeah. Gilly and Wallow, bruh, y'all be everywhere we are and more. And we know we travel and work. All respect to both of you, man, and what you guys are doing in the space, in the podcast game. I think you guys are taking it to another level too with all of your behind the scenes content, just truly, you know, blazing a different path here as we are trying to do, man. So salute to y'all. But we hop out, we see Gilly and Wallow, it's after midnight. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We wake up, we go wait for The Rock, 3 hours we there. He walks in, we ready to roll. Yep. We shoot the show, move the furniture, right? Grab the cameras, get out, and we at Snoop's spot. The decision we're making is, do we put Snoop out the week after you put out The Rock? Like that's where this is. And then also on the other side, man, like figuring out, yeah, but we also have to do shows like Solomon Thomas because that's our core. Like our core is to impact, our core is to affect and help and move people. And those things matter to us more than the numbers. When you think about those, Chan, like the start of it to now, especially those 2 shows, those weeks, what sticks out the most to you?
Well, first, you be always running away from all your success and all your love and all that. Bruh, we got some cigars for you.
Oh,
and this is
celebration.
Yes, we're gonna celebrate you. But I think it's a point to be made here is that
man, this is dope, man.
It ain't hard, it ain't tough, it ain't masculine, it ain't that to act all crazy about another man's success. Right. You bring up grinding together, bro, I teared up when I saw the video. AZ said it to me first. I teared up. I'm like, damn. I think more people need to celebrate others, especially men, especially black men, because you always talk about how you got to work 2 times as hard to get half the respect, and then you win. And I say this to people all the time: celebrate your wins, because now, like you're saying, I understand the grind and the push, but you work so hard to get somewhere, then you get celebrated, or then you get rewarded, and now you go back to working to get another one. Celebrate. And I know I'm a part of it, so I love to I celebrate the damn sun coming out. But I don't think we celebrate each other enough, and I don't think people celebrate their wins. Everybody dwells on losses. If you win, it's supposed to happen.
Yep.
Why can't you dwell on a win like you dwell on a loss?
Wow, that's
and
a good
bro,
point.
you are damn winning right now, and we love to know you, be a part of your damn realm, bro. So,
Man, thank you,
bro.
man.
Real talk, man. It's big time.
Yeah, it's so awkward.
Take it, brother.
I
Take
mean,
it, man.
I think maybe y'all could help me, or just the conversation is a good one. I did the same thing with the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I am definitely like a small wins guy. And I think that's almost a defense mechanism against not getting the big wins. You know, it's made me really good with adversity. It's made me really good with accepting loss or not accepting a certain level of success. It's also made me very bad at celebrating things. You know, you always mess with me about being sickly.
Yeah, you sickly.
You know, but I don't really celebrate birthdays. But I do celebrate every day.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? I try to put a certain level of effort into every day, because I realized I was at a point where tomorrow wasn't necessarily promised, right? So the whole year is cool, but it's like, man, today is excellent. Today is great. We do our work, we do our shows, and that was kind of why I made the video, because I don't think people understood my week. Like what a week of work is like for me during the season. It was also to acknowledge those people who were a part of it, but it's like the work week is difficult. The work week is stacked. But that's the part I enjoy. Like having people say like, oh, you're so great at it. I will say it matters from you two, right? Because I care about both of y'all. But I try not to get caught up in the outside world saying it, because as they build me up, if I fall into loving that and taking that personally, now when they beat on me, sometimes when I don't deserve it, I take that personally too. And I just don't want to be that. But yeah, man, like I celebrate this, and my way of celebrating it, you know, excuse my language, is to just keep kicking their ass.
well.
You know what I mean? Like I was ready to get back here today to be like, all right, let's start working. Like I'm trying to figure out what we gonna do this week. There's some superstars in the world right now with DMs from me. I'm like, hey, on stage, I said, Nate, we've been waiting on you. Kenny, I talked to you in the back.
Yeah.
JJ, you know you've been acting funny. Channing.
Roly-poly. You can't unplug roly-poly from the other side?
Can't unplug roly-poly.
Roly-poly on some...
Hey, bro, this is like $1,000 worth of game that we're doing right now. Hey,
Roly up out of there real quick. Oh, that's
Chan,
coming out
are
of
you even, Chan? I think that's not supposed
That's
to
gonna
be
come up out of there.
done,
quick.
Chan. Chan, that's not gonna stay in there, bro.
It might.
Oh wait,
It's sucky in there. That
It's-
thing
it's what?
sucky.
Yeah,
It's sucky.
that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
that
That's
thing
true.
sucky.
you know about Sucky, don't you?
Yeah, man, you know, I've
Pause.
I've been around some talented individuals.
Bro, can we get off me now? I'm really uncomfortable.
Why don't you like it?
I mean, it's all good. No, we're gonna be on you, but off you, but on you. Because
Like
since this
that.
is a celebration, we're talking about reflecting the past, right? You talked about DMs. I want to reflect on this. We were in Vegas, and you got a DM from a total stranger about our guy sleeping on the slot machines in Vegas.
I'll wait on the slot machine to get hot.
You was slobbing on it? What, like, in what way? In what way? So we reflected on the past in celebration.
That's a top 5 off-camera pivot moment.
So I mean, but Chan, what in the fuck?
Sometimes life take over. And you there. Like, y'all don't ever see like, like you're not really in your body, like life done took over and you just kind of rolled through. Now what happened? I was tired, slot machine, put about 40 in there. I'm like, this $50th gonna work. I was just wait it out.
And the good thing is, it goes to speak to what people think about us, our show, because the DM probably went sort of like, how did it go? They didn't want us to lose our show.
Chan's gonna ruin it all. I think was the Chan's down his sleep. He's gonna ruin it all. Don't let him do it. I think was the DM. It's I don't know if that is worse than me and Chan sharing one piece of pizza on the floor at the High Rollers Lounge. But you know what too? I blame that on our show not being respected at that point. Because if you remember, the only reason we were even hanging out is because people kept ditching us from doing the show.
Yeah.
We were supposed to be working. Mm-hmm. And because we couldn't work, we decided we were going to drink our sorrows away.
we drank a lot of sorrows away.
We drank a lot of sorrows. Did you wake me up to eat the pizza? Because I remember I fell asleep.
Yeah, you were sleeping.
Yep.
The pizza came, and I knocked you. Hey, man, you want something to eat? Honestly, how it happened was I got the pizza, and I think somebody got it for us. AZ or somebody at the Aria got it for us. And I got the pizza, and I kind of saw you sitting there, and we both had a couple drinks, multiple couples, couple couples. And I was like, damn, I ain't get RC no pizza. And I was like, hey, man, you want some pizza? And you got up and saw the pizza, and I think you assumed it was the pizza I was speaking of for you.
Yeah.
So then you bit the pizza, and in my state of mind, I'm like, this motherfucker's not taking all of my pizza. So I grabbed the pizza out your hand and bit the other side. And then for the next 10 minutes, we just ate the same piece of pizza.
Ate the same pizza.
And then you got into the conversation about RC having a wallet on the chain.
With the zipper.
With the
wallet
zipper.
has a zipper and a chain on it.
You know, I lost my little lanyard. It's a lanyard, by the way.
Lanyard.
It only zips so that way your cards and your money don't fall out.
What are you, skydiving?
No.
That's like a square pocketbook.
He got a clutch. That's called a clutch.
No, it's a wallet.
A wallet on chain.
It's a lanyard, fellas. It's leather.
That's a
it's
Louis,
not a chain.
A male Louis wallet on chain.
First off,
is it a crossbody?
No, I'm bigger than that, Fred. I'm too big for it to fit the freaking crossbody.
Yeah.
The pockets of the wallets get loose, right? And your cards will slip out. So that's what the zipper is for.
No girl have no zip on their wallet.
I am also forgetful, right? And so it kind of just like, instead of just like keeping it in my pocket all the time, you could just wrap it around your wrist or something and hold it. Wait, it is kind of like a pocketbook.
It's kind of like a pocketbook.
I'm glad you came to the conclusion that you got a clutch.
A clutch.
But you know what? The funny thing, even hearing these stories, it's who we are and what we're capable of, where we're capable to get into. Because even speaking about the high roller room, we just go in the high roller rooms and they recognize our faces and we just walk around there. But we're still just three crazy folks that, probably shouldn't be in there to be honest.
We also never play in there. Maybe Fred plays sometimes.
Shout out to Flanagan, my guy.
Yeah,
I don't know if this is a violation, but I love you, brother. No, seriously, and you talked about being in those moments, waiting to, for our potential guests to get back to us, just being patient. We get the call, we go make it happen. But even those times when we do get the call, and I don't know if we talked about this on camera, but I remember one of the best days we had as a show, right? We started about 5 a.m., jetted to Atlanta, and we did an amazing show with Candace Parker, man.
By the way, guys, you've never seen that show?
And we don't know if you ever will.
It's done, though.
Yeah, and we talk about people that stood us up, but this one we got. And we were so excited because we were young in the show and we hustled and we went there and we hopped on a flight, got back to Miami, and like 2 people canceled and we ended up doing 3 that came out beautiful. And one of my favorite, Michael Beasley, since we've been shooting our show. And that day was just weird, but it falls in one of my favorite moments on the show because that was the first time we got up that early to fly to go do a show that early, and it was like 30 degrees.
Yeah.
And I had on
outside
fucking Kobe Bryant jersey.
Wait, this is the thing though. What adult man wears the jersey without a shirt underneath it?
I was showing these guns.
He had his arms out.
Every time you start working out for 2 weeks, now you gotta take his shirt off or take his sleeves off.
It takes me.
You know what he does do every time he starts working out? Take that taco meat picture on his story though.
That's it.
I haven't done that.
Hey,
Stop taking your shirt off on social media.
I don't take my shirt off
as a friend.
hey,
I'm
Chan.
telling you.
Hey,
When
Chan.
my shit get right, I'm gonna take my
But
shirt
Chan,
off.
why he hold his mouth like this every time he do the one on the story? He always tell me I'm lying, no, Chad. Every time he got his mouth. Yeah, he had his
It
mouth.
takes a friend.
No, he had his mouth almost closed,
Hey,
but it's open.
Nobody want to see that,
I
friend.
appreciate the critique. No, you know what? So it goes back to what we were talking about in there. You know, I try to work out when I get in my moments where I got to get it in, and then I have moments I just fall off, right? But going back to Chan and this old man shit,
You don't
Chan,
like that, friend.
I don't like it, brother.
'Cause you old.
'Cause I'm not old. I'm seasoned.
Yes.
Stop saying I'm old, bro.
You marinated a long time.
Because it's chronological. You can't get rid of that. And it's biological. That's the mindset. Like, I take care of myself. I want to challenge you to a push-up competition on this fucking camera right now.
You
Hell
got
no.
it.
We're not. Channing doesn't care
I
about
can't do a push. I honestly probably can't do 10 push-ups.
You know what? Never mind. I got the footage from Nashville.
Oh,
What I get?
That's
8?
another good moment.
7 to 8?
You did like 4.
that was terrible.
You did 4.
I don't do that.
It's time for legends to be made. It's the NBA Finals. But our partners over at DraftKings, their finals happen all year round. And right now, any new customer using the promo code PIVOT, if you make any bet for $5, you get $200 in bonus bets. Pull out your mobile devices, download DraftKings Sports app. You might not be on the floor at the finals, but you can feel like you got on the floor money.
And you talk about these legends. So we watching legends, and you know what team's gonna win, and somebody's gonna carry them there. Exposure leads to expansion.
Always.
I'm gonna expose you to same game parlays today. You bet on an over on that player, knowing he's gonna carry the team. Bet on the team, same game parlay, have a chance of winning even more money on that bet.
Hey, and check this out. The sports book is not everywhere, but don't worry. Just pull this little thing out and use DraftKings Daily Fantasy and make you some daily cash. It's simple.
Hey, like Freddie said, man, pull this little thing out and download DraftKings Sportsbook. Back to the show. We've been having a great time. I have a serious question. You've been parenting alone for how many days?
So 3, going on 3.
Would you say parenting alone is difficult?
Extremely hard.
Okay. Kim Kardashian recently said that she cries herself to sleep wondering if she's a good parent, and that being a single parent is very difficult, that her decisions and those different things can affect the kids, and she sometimes has a hard time with it. There's been a lot of backlash and then some love and support given to her, because there's the single mom with 5 kids, without the butler, without the maid, without the help, without all of these things, that finds a way to make it work with her 3 jobs. And that mom may cry too.
Yeah.
And she probably does, but nobody cares. And let's be honest, like if she said that, people would more so point to her bad decisions or whatever they felt put her in that position. They wouldn't give her the sympathy or the empathy that some may be trying to give Kim Kardashian. But there has been that pushback. When you heard that statement from her, what did you think? And first off, we can't mansplain. We will never be single mothers ever in life. We will never give birth to children. But all 3 of us are fathers.
Yeah. Honestly, I think about the single mother I know, Pauline Pope, my mother that raised 3 kids from, having 2 jobs, grinding, and knowing what it takes, and it's hard. It's hard to say. I'll be like you said, I've been doing it 3 days. I don't enjoy it. The house is a damn mess because that nuclear family is needed. I think that raised the best kids. But when I think about her saying it, I laugh. You have too many resources. It's not hard on you. It's not. I know what my mom went through. I know us going to Checkers and having $5 to feed 3 kids and getting 3 burgers, 2 fries. Y'all got to share the fries, and then you better drink that water at the house. Like, I seen that. So for her to say she cries herself to sleep, all of us question if we're doing a good job. All of us, all our kids are gonna fail at things. All our kids are gonna get in trouble. All our kids are gonna get into things, and then you kind of think about, what have I done wrong? What have I not accomplished or articulated to this child? But hey, you're happy, yeah. And I'm a happy dad, Freddie. Yeah. I see you. I know what you wanted. But what have I not done for this child? But to sit and cry yourself to sleep, that's a victim.
Do you think, though, that stress also challenges, adversity is relative? Because you also have to think about this, and this is the outside looking in. I don't know how much work Kim Kardashian has put into earning her wealth. Mm-hmm. I don't know the level of manual labor she has done. Parenting in any form is an actual manual labor. Yeah. Parenting, you gotta, she talks about refereeing the arguments and picking who won. Whether you debate how she is parenting or what her ways are, like, that is hands-on. For someone who I would guess isn't very hands-on in that manner in many things in her life.
Yeah.
Right? And so now the pass and fail of those situations is so different than any pass and fail that she has to deal with now. To you and me and Chan, like, that's the everyday of life, not just parenting. Right? Like I watch I was raised by my mother and my father, and I watched it, and I was taught this is how it works, right? They come first. If they don't eat, you for sure ain't eat. And if everybody's eating, they eat first. Like, that was the things I was taught. Like, you take care of them. But it could be different, especially when not seeing it. And like, when you hear it, Freddie, and you think about how difficult parenting can be, how much empathy do you have for her? Or do you believe too, like, hey man, suck it up, buttercup, that's life?
That's funny. I want to push back on Chan first, talking about the nuclear family. That he said that within the nuclear family, they have the best kids.
No, I said that. I think that is the most successful way to have the 2 parents. Not even, and to be honest, I'll be honest, not even woman, man. Whatever you decide to do, but just having 2 grown people. Because I've seen, even through my mom, is that you kind of get that way. When you're a single parent, it's that way. There's no balance. It's this way. And I think the best kids, or the better approach to raising a child, is that you have 2 people that can sit down away from the kids, speak about topics, and have a joint way to deal with those child's topics.
I think that's the ideal approach. Yeah. What we would all probably look at. That's what we've been sort of raised to view as the perfect situation, or a situation that might allow for the best outcome. Whatever that outcome is, we have seen examples of, individuals that come from single family, whether male or female. We've seen a lot of great success stories, in our sport, in life, in politics, et cetera, all across the board. In terms of whether I have empathy for Kim, or whether I would want to say, suck it up, buttercup, RC, I really think that people have moments, right? You have moments where she can look at those situations those moments in which she's crying, and she might view them as, maybe I failed somewhere. Maybe I envision this beautiful life with myself and a husband, with our children, and maybe those are moments that make her cry. I don't know if it's always the stresses from the kids, because kids are tough. Teenagers, a lot of times, are tougher, so I don't think she's hit her stride quite yet, because it's only gonna get tougher, but, I do empathize with her, to a certain extent, but also, having been raised by my grandmother, because my mom had me at a young age. She was 15 years old when she had me, so I saw both of them struggle. Seeing them struggle makes me want to say, Kim, let's go. You got to be strong for those children. Cry, but let's keep going. Keep doing your thing, and I think she's gonna be fine.
Yes,
she's gonna be
rich.
fine.
Yeah. She's gonna be fine.
But sometimes money doesn't change. Parents.
Pressure makes diamonds, and pressures bust pipes. She has no callus because she's been a rich little, trust fund baby her whole
You
life.
ain't gotta say little.
That's what she is.
Why you gotta say little?
Well, I think the other piece of it is too, it's not necessarily about, like to me, it's not about whether she cries or not. Like cry, like everybody cries.
Right.
It's more so about how something like that said from her position is perceived by people who have so much less. And I don't even mean money. Money, obviously, people always say that money can't buy happiness, but it helps buy you things that keeps you from being as depressed.
Yes.
Right?
100%.
But it's not about the money, but it's about the resources. It's about the help. It's about the opportunity. It's about the certain freedoms that a ton of parents don't have. And what I will agree with you on is there's no pushback or there's no debating that good kids and good humans, good adults, can come from all sorts of backgrounds as far as being raised, whether it's being foster care or adopted or one parent, whatever it is. But I will say from a parent's perspective, I do think having the format of two people parenting helps. Because it's like anything else in life. It takes something off of me, right? On a day that I'm tired and I want to rest, if she or he could take the kid to school, that takes something off of me.
Right.
If I've been beat up all day and them two little dummies is arguing, you know what I'm saying? And I don't have it in me to deal with the argument, okay, this one's your turn, right? Or when the baby wakes up late at night, no, I can't breastfeed, I'll go get the baby. I'll warm the bottle. Like those, just the stressors of that. But it's really cool, like what kids can do, whether you're a parent in the sense of a Kim Kardashian or in who I now believe is the best player in the world, Nikola Jokic. He was asked how parenting has helped him become a better basketball player. And he said none. And I loved it because he was being honest.
Wow.
And he also doesn't have like any of these niceties that I think we're taught to have as Americans in the way that we address the media, right? Because so many times we have learned that the impactful, the inspirational thing we say moves people, right? And say, being a parent, man, the long nights have taught me that I'm this and I'm that. And he was like, nah. But he did say, what it taught me was basketball is not the most important thing in my life. Mm-hmm. So the question I would have for y'all is, we have kind of been taught, and you see it with Tom Brady, we've kind of learned through experience that the only way to be the greatest or best at doing something is to make that the only priority. Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, all of these people who we revere not only for championships, but approach to championships, especially as Americans, we're that way. And hearing Nikola Jokic say, nah, it's not my top priority. But then to go watch him, can't jump over a wet, smushed hamburger, right? Can't, right? Run up the court slow as hell and be killing. Oh, I'm talking about just a walking triple-double. How do you think hearing him say that and now seeing him dominate and maybe become an NBA champion can change the perspective on the way people approach their priorities as it comes to sports?
I don't really see the correlation, or how much he would affect that. I just think people get in the trenches and do the best that they can do.
So I don't mean to cut you off. I want to add a question to that, though.
Yeah.
How many times have we heard this? Now that I got my baby, it's about him. Now that that's my why, right? Like, because that's a way to incorporate, like you're incorporating both now, right? They're both a priority, but now that has made this different.
I think we all create something to use as motivation, right? I was raised by my grandmother majorly growing up. So my motivation always was, I wanted to make sure I went out there, I competed, and I got my grandmother a house. I wanted to play for her. And then I had my son and my daughter. And I said, those first two children, they were my motivation. So my grandmother was still part of that. And then I think my family as a whole became my motivation. But when I'm out there between that chalk, running from Chan and trying to make you miss, I'm not thinking about them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about, my motivation is, I'm trying to bust your ass and go and score. Pause. And I'm trying to do something to you so I can go and score so we can win. That's my motivation, is competing on a high level and wanting to win. Then when I get back to it, after the game's all said and done, I can talk to them. I can have this great sense of, all right, I did this for y'all. On to the next one. So in terms of my parenting styles, you know, how I'm gonna raise my children, I guess what I do is I look at how my grandmother raised me, how I was raised, and I try to also implement, you know, and avoid the BS that I did growing up. That's how I wanna raise my children. So I just try to raise them the right way. So I don't think Jokic, you know, making that statement would change, you know, how I am as a parent.
Zero correlation at all. To use your word,
Yeah,
you said BS. Yes, bullshit. You can't do it. Will it make you maybe work out? Maybe make, you know, if the alarm goes off and you want to
That
sleep
was
extra?
going to be my statement.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not gonna make you, like you just said, Fred, because when I hear that, oh, I'm doing this for my baby. You're out there with the best athletes in the world, fellas. You thinking about that little poop and pee machine that drool on their goddamn chest. You think that's gonna help you whoop his ass? It's not. It's gonna make you work a little hard in the gym. It's gonna make you wake up and run maybe or something like that. But it doesn't, you know, if you wanna do the research, somebody do the research. Look at somebody's career before they, I was gonna be nasty. Before they didn't wear rubber and made a baby, and then see a career take off when the baby comes. It's unrealistic. That's not gonna happen. Do y'all know any of y'all homeboys that just turned into a Pro Bowler because he got somebody pregnant and there's a baby on the way? It doesn't happen. You want motivation, and people reach for motivation all the time.
Yeah.
I was playing straight for money. I'm talking about when I was a kid, I need to go get rich so I don't have to have my family in the situation they're in. Whatever that motivation was. If your motivation is your child, okay. But you're not gonna have a baby and it's gonna change your career. That is irrational, and there's zero correlation with that.
And let me take a moment to pay homage to my good friend, my late friend, Trevor Moawad, in his book. And Trevor said, it takes what it takes. Whatever that is, that's what it takes. Whatever your motivation is, whether it's your child, your girlfriend, your wife, going after the money, you know, going after rings, you know, going out, getting Emmys, want to get more, like whatever the fuck it is, that's what it is. It takes what it takes, and make that your staple and go for it.
I will say this, listen, when Fred said, when Logan posted about me receiving the award, she did say, she's like, you deserve it because of how hard you work. And I don't know, like my kids, like I've always been like that. Like I've been a weirdo as far as like work, because I felt like that was what I could control. But to hear for my child to say that that's why I received an award, or to understand or to value that was important to me. But I can also say, like, I didn't do it, or I didn't work that way, or it didn't change when I had them. And shoot, I had kids when I was 19. So if it would have changed, it changed then, it changed early enough. You know, when you think about, though, what it entails, right, to, you know, you go from Kim to Jokic saying that, to now I saw that Kevin Hart, you know, our dog Kev.
Yeah.
Remember we saw him with Don?
Oh, he was Don.
What's Don's last name, bro? When they came, because remember they stopped at our table?
He be in them movies.
Man.
Cheeto?
Oh,
Cheddle?
Cheeto.
Where he from?
How you say it?
Yeah, the one, he 56, damn. You know, so
yeah. I saw our homeboys, yeah.
Yeah, Kel stopped by the table, you know, him and Don, you know.
He was hot.
He trying to lead, Kel chilling with us.
Kev want to chill with the boys.
Yeah, you know how that goes. Shit. But Kev's daughter graduated from high school. She was I always say this word wrong. Is it salutatorian or is it salutatorian? What is it?
Salutatorian.
Salutatorian, right?
That's what I
think that's what it is.
Pescatarian.
And he bought her a new car. It's a Porsche Cayenne or whatever the trucks are. It's a white one. It's very nice. But I am now an empty nester. Jaden and Jordan are getting their masters. Logan's going to culinary school next year. And parenting, bro, like parenting is actually hard, and but it's fulfilling too, and it's the most important job that we'll have. When I look at now what life is supposed to be, I think you're right. Right? It's like I'm not like they ate already. You know, school is paid for. Like if something happens to me, they'll be fine. I've taken care of all of those things, and it's okay. What is the next step? Like what do I need to do? Like how do you find a way of fulfillment? How do you learn? Like what are you now challenging yourself to do? And I was thinking about, I had a conversation about peace, right? It's just like a very trendy thing now, peace.
Peace.
Like people are like words that are trendy, healing and peace, right? I think whenever people don't want to argue, they say, you know what? I'm just looking for peace.
Energy.
You know what I'm saying? Like the energy, like those
energy.
are all the words. And so I wanted to take this time to do something, is ask both of you questions, if I could take the time to do that. I'll start with you, Freddie.
All right.
And here are my 3 questions, because
Okay.
you asked me 3 questions. You good? Are you okay? And do you need anything from me?
Wow. I'm good. I have moments. Yeah, I'm good. I'm trying not to tear up thinking about my grandmother. That's the toughest thing that I got going on right now.
What's going on with grandma?
So I'm trying to work out earlier today, right? And I'm doing my little run on the treadmill, and I'm like, damn, I got 15 minutes left. I was tired as a motherfucker. And I was playing Marvin Sapp, never would have made it. And it just made me start thinking about my grandmother. And I know the song is a reference to God, but I feel like without her, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't done half the stuff I did.
Take your time, bro.
No, I'm good. I'm real good. And I have moments when I just think about her and everything she's done and what she means to me. She has dementia, and it's real bad. And she's just here. She's not living, she's just here. And it's fucked up. I can't even talk no more.
Is there anything you need from us, bro? Like, I think, you know, you ask these questions, and like they're simple, very simple check-ins, but
Yeah, no, I'm good. Mentally, I'm good. I mean, I practice my, I practice on my anxiety. When I feel moments of being low, I practice. I go and I meditate, and I go to my therapist. I'll pick up the phone. I'll call. People who's gonna talk to me and talk me through everything. Never been suicidal, never will be. But dealing with, my grandmother's health, that's tough for me. That lady is everything to me. Definitely my first love in life. But no, I'm good. Everything else is solid. That just came out of left field. Because earlier today, I had moments where I had to, I'm on the treadmill, I'm running and crying at the same fucking time. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm gonna say that it's amazing
crazy.
that you could do both, because you cannot hold a meeting and work out on the Peloton at the same time. So
Yeah, I've gotten better.
the fact that
I'm in better shape.
whatever
whatever situation, well, I haven't seen her, I don't know what she was before the dementia, but two of my grandmothers had dementia, and they are different people when it happens. But I guarantee her life is better because of you. I guarantee whatever state she's in right now, she would not be where she is, what she's doing, with the help she has, if it wasn't for you. You're doing everything possible to put that in a better situation. So it's legit to be upset, not taking that, taking that away from me, but I'm just saying, bro, think about, we were talking about the wins earlier, and I tell people this when they're like, are you doing everything possible to be, for her, to be as comfortable as she can? And you gotta think about that, bro.
I think what I don't want to do is minimize the tears, minimize the feelings, and we certainly can't talk you into feeling better. But I think you said what's the most important thing, bro, that she was your first love. I guarantee she knows it. In the most important times, in the times that anything becomes clear to her, she knows that. The other thing is, you are one of her greatest accomplishments. You said you watched her struggle, you watched your mom struggle, she raised you and she raised everybody else, and you are here. Yeah. You come from a place where you've seen people with talent, you've seen people get opportunities, squander them, not capitalize on them. You yourself have made mistakes, bro, but those mistakes ain't cost you for being here, and she got to see that. I pray it never happens to us, bro, but honestly, if we live long enough, we'll deal with it. Like we will feel it, and it will not take away from whatever existence we had before it started to eat at us. Her existence before that, man, was joy through you. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about all you did to make her life better. And that don't mean you ain't supposed to cry. Like, that don't mean you ain't supposed to hurt. Like, we lose people. It's the most certain thing about life, is that we will lose people. And whether God gives us 100 hours with them or 100 years, it's never long enough. That's the way it works. But man, and I'll say this, I don't, and I probably mentioned this movie before. It's called The Fault in Our Stars. And on the movie, he makes his best friends and his girl give him a funeral, because he wants to know what they're going to say about him, because we don't get to live it afterwards. Bro, she got to live your love, though, dog. Like, man, and I hope, and I'm not, I'll be honest, I ain't one of the people that's like, hey, man, when I leave, you know what I'm saying, like, don't be crying and, like, have a party. Hell no, I don't have no party. I mean, you got the party after, but y'all mother effers better cry. I'm talking about, there better be, if it happened now, that damn show, The Pivot, better be the best, most emotional one y'all effers ever have. Yeah. And like,
we're gonna just sit you in a chair.
Yeah, sit me in like Weekend at Bernie's. But like Freddie T, man, that's the
y'all
bro,
crazy.
Trying to make you laugh. But you gave her that, man. And I think I wanted to ask y'all those questions because I've been seeing that clip so many times, and the only part that hits me every time is that I didn't ask.
I appreciate it. I'm good. Yeah. I'm okay. If I do need something, I know who to reach out to. But I'm solid. Yeah.
I'm almost scared to ask you, but I know most of the answers. Are you? But for real, man, because like I think, because you're just always so dang funny, and you seem happy all the time. Well, are you good? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you okay? Like, do you need anything from us, or do you need us to facilitate anything that makes something easier for you, something better for you?
I do, and asking, and I would even say that to like just people listening, like the happiest guy, the jokester, the class clown, the dude that lights up the room, whatever, the correct charismatic guy. they also have trouble. They also have demons. They also have insecurities. And my personality was built off insecurities. Was built off not having money coming up, built off wearing the Avias and all, built off, not really having the resources growing up. So I had to be funny. That's how I got in rooms to be funny. And I think it was built about that. So like, even the guy, to your point, the happiest dude in the room, ask him how he's doing, for real. A lot of people don't ask me because to the point that I'm always happy, I'm laughing, I'm always brightening everyone else's day. His day must be fine because he's brightening everybody else's life. I would say that's not a fact. That person that brightens other people's lives, they're just good at brightening people's day. And they still have issues. And I would say the thing, honestly, you ask, recently, not on purpose, but I put Asia on the back burner with the kids, with the jobs, with the, trying to grind, success, trying to do so many things, start businesses. And I've kind of taken Asia for granted. So could y'all do anything? No about that? But I just want to say and let her know that, like, I'm going to prioritize her again, like I did 15 years ago when we met. We've been married a long time, married 12 years, been together 15 years. And through that time, like, not a loss of respect, not a loss of, admiration, but just the prioritizing of my wife. And that's been on my mind. I need to do better, and I need to make an effort to do better. And it's all on me. So, I don't know what I could do or help with it, but I just need that, need to maybe be reminded sometimes. I can call Asia, hey, did you talk? She wants you to check in after the show and things like that because it does slip out my mind, and she is the most amazing person I've ever met in my life, and that's why I made her my wife. But I need to show her that every single day.
You mentioned insecurities, which prompted me to think about something. I was jotting down a few things before we got started. And your insecurities, do you wear white drawers?
I can't.
Me either.
Yeah.
I'm real insecure about that.
That's not insecure, that's just a good decision.
Right, I'm always wearing black. I don't even like white t-shirts.
Yeah.
But what do you think about white underwear?
What I think about it?
Yeah,
What do you leave skeet marks in them?
Yeah, it's putting a white sheet over a garbage can. It's just all nasty. Everything that happens in the crotch and booty area is nasty. Why would I put a white piece of cloth on top of nasty?
You're a Kappa and a neat guy. What do you think about white?
I only wear dark underwear. Like,
Me too. So for everybody, we got a comment scrubber for everybody that's watching this. We want to know what feedback you got in the comments. Like, tell us why or why don't you wear white underwear. But I see another thing, suit etiquette. Because you got a million suits.
Yes.
No, probably almost 1,000. Suit etiquette. Is it proper to, because I haven't been to the cleaners since pre-COVID. Okay. Right? Do you leave your suits in the plastic when you hang them up in your closet?
Yes.
All your suits
Yes.
are in the plastic?
All my suits that I take from the cleaners, I leave in the plastic because when you put them in the suit closet, I don't want dust or anything like that to get on them. But the rest of the suits are just wherever. I'm actually about to give some to my homies. I have a too many. So I need to
clean y'all suits?
I need to, I send them to the cleaner.
Dry clean your suit,
what?
yeah.
You could put them in the washer?
Put them back on the hanger. They're not dirty. What are you doing in a suit?
The same. Do you wash those shorts eventually?
Yeah.
Yeah, the same
I'm
thing.
outside sitting down dirty,
it's the same
the
thing.
pool.
Eventually.
You sit it
Like
down,
not.
So you put on the suit, go to church, come back home, and take it to the cleaners?
No, I wouldn't do that. Not like after one wear. I
put
take
them
the
up.
shirt though. I would take the shirt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would take the shirt.
The suit you wore on draft night,
That's in the closet.
that was 6 hours of
Well, it was
ass and.
It was a rental. Anyway,
I had on drawers.
well,
What kind of
fellas,
pants he had?
we've been talking for an hour and a half, and Jimmy Butler's about to leave, and
Oh, buckets?
Jimmy
Yeah,
Buckets.
he busy today.
Yeah,
he got an event.
Yeah, he got an event later, so he has to go. But I will say this, man. First off, thank y'all. I really appreciate y'all giving me a chance to talk about it, but also just being happy for me. I don't think we are happy for each other enough, and I believe we have, as a group, done a very good job of riding for each other. There hasn't been any situation where we've gotten opportunities where we haven't included one another, and I think that's what keeps the show strong. Freddie T, man, if you need anything from me, you know, I'm willing to do whatever you need, have any conversation. Chan, you know the same thing. You already know, man. Like, we've had instances where we've had to ride like that. I do want to do one thing before the end of the show. We talked to y'all and we talked to them about moments we thought were really cool off air that we've shared or that were funny or that were just us. I want everybody out there who is a subscriber or a viewer of The Pivot, send in your top 5 on-camera pivot moment. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick our favorite one and we're gonna make a reel or make a video, put it together of those top 5 moments, also mention you on our social media, and I'll see if there's some way to get in touch with you guys and maybe give y'all something special. The email will be in the description that you can send it into so we can comb through it. I'm not doing it. Freddie T ain't doing it. Chan ain't doing it. We're gonna find somebody that can do it. We're gonna look at the top 5 and we'll pick from that. But in truth, man, you know, it's about, we say we have to accept, adjust, and move forward. And a long time ago, I was just talking and I was saying, you know, when you make the pivot and where you think you are at that time isn't necessarily where the end is. This isn't the end for me, for Chan, for Freddie T, for this show, but it also isn't the end for you if your eyes still open in the morning, if your lungs can still take in breath. And I believe in God. I believe in prayer. I believe also in work. And so whatever you believe in, man, keep doing that. Keep rocking with that. That is so important. Believe in yourself and believe that that work will somehow manifest into something. And whatever that something is, we ain't really in control of it. This is The Pivot. Cookout.
RC, don't forget to tell them about the merch. We got new hats, new tees, and we got a Happy Dad collab. Go over to happydad.com, check out the collab. You want to get the Pivot stuff straight off our site at thepivotpodcast.com. Check it out.
Hold up, limitless, take a stomach, got a pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling, got me up. On the mission, got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. Only vision I can trust. Limitless, take a stomach, got a pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant.